Hello folks, today I've got 6 MLB picks for you for Tuesday, July 8th, including 3 that hold positive odds, which means they are viewed as an underdog. First, let's recap yesterday's action. I shared with you 5 betting tips, and those plays generated a 3-2 record that you can see on your screen, including the Tigers pulling off a mild upset at home against Tampa earlier in the day. So overall, a person risking $100 per play earned a profit of $64. All right, so on Tuesday, let's get started with a pick that fits under a betting system called the cold versus hot teams matchup. Its rules are very simple. Bet the road team if the road team lost at least 1 game in a row and the home club has won at least 4 straight games. Right now, if you focus on the standings, Tampa Bay has lost 1 game in a row, and the home team, Detroit, has won 4 straight games. So by following the rules of this system, we must bet the road club, which is why I am taking the Rays money line. That is my first pick of the day. The best odds right now are around plus 115 in American format, which equates to 2.15 in decimal, and this is viewed as a 3-star play. So I believe this bet holds a positive ROI of around 3 to 4%. All right, so when I first researched this system in 2019, as you can see at the bottom of your screen right now, this strategy had generated a profit of 66.51 units over 993 bets. Now, those numbers were obtained from the 2010 to 2016 seasons because this is the period range covered by the data set that I owned at the moment. And now, since then, I have been tracking the performance of my 19 MLB systems every single day. So how has this system performed lately? It did suffer some significant losses in 2021, 22, and 23, so I lost a lot of faith in this system at that time. And also, I feel like it generates too many picks. It is not picky enough. But then last year, we racked up a huge 19.75 unit profit. And so far this year, over 90 qualifying plays, we have obtained a tiny profit of 0.83 unit. So I have not entirely given up on this betting angle, but I am very selective when choosing to make a play based on its betting tips. So again, my first pick is the Rays money line. Now, I do have a source of concern about this bet, and it's the fact that Comerica Park has been like a fortress for the Tigers, as shown by their 31-14 record over there. But Tampa has done a fine job away from home, as shown by their 21-16 road record this season. Also, I like the pitching duo. After spending his first 2 seasons with the Dodgers, Ryan Pepiot has made Tampa his home. He's had 2 very good seasons with the Rays, with a solid 1.15 whip statistic, both last year and so far this season. He will be squaring off against Jack Flaherty, who has been an inconsistent performer in 2025. And now, if you focus on his last 4 outings, he has squandered 21 earned runs across 19 innings. So if you do the math, you get an awful 9.95 ERA. Ouch! Now, he got roughed up by the Rays on June 20th with 8 runs allowed over 2 1/3 innings. So I am hoping for more of the same today. So for all these reasons, my first selection is Tampa to win straight up in Detroit. Up next, in the following game, featuring the Mariners against the Yankees, I am taking the Yankees money line at minus 125 odds or 1.80 in decimal odds. Now, this is only a 2-star play, which means I feel like the ROI is around plus 2% on this play. because obviously this is a scary bet given the two teams' recent form and also given the pitching matchup. But let me explain why I am siding with New York in this match. Now, Will Warren has not been super sharp this season, but his road-home split has been significant. His ERA on the road has been 6.75 versus 3.35 at Yankee Stadium. And now, obviously, today is pitching at Yankee Stadium, so that is good news for him. And in fact, if you look at his last 3 outings at Yankee Stadium, he has squandered 0, 2, and 3 earned runs, while striking out 7, 6, and 11 batters. So he's done a fine job at home recently. And meanwhile, Logan Gilbert's road-home split is also interesting. His ERA on the road has been 6.00 versus 2.29 at home. So he's been much more effective in Seattle, but that's not where he's going to pitch tonight. And also, New York fits under a betting system called the Stingy Pitchers that recommends betting against the road team if they won their past 2 games by allowing either 0 or 1 run in each of those wins, and if their money line today is smaller than plus 150. Now, if you take a look at Seattle's recent schedule, so today, of course, they are on the road, and they have won their last 2 games by a 1-0 score on both occasions. In fact, they have shut out the Pirates in all 3 games. And since Seattle's money line today is much smaller than plus 150 in American format, then we need to fade them. So that's why I am opting for New York. And really, the Yankees are a team that absolutely needed a day off. They are low in confidence with a 7-16 record across their last 23 contests. Now, it looked like they were going to run away with the AL East division, but now they have given up the top spot to the Blue Jays, who hold a 3.5 game lead over the Yankees right now. So can the Yankees regroup and build some momentum following their 6-4 victory on Sunday against the Mets? I think they can, so ultimately I've decided to side with the Yankees, but I'm only taking a small stab because I am not overly confident about this play. Up next, it's time for an upset special, and this time I am going to go with the Twins to pull off the upset at home against a strong Cubs team. And this is a 3-star play. I have to admit it's close to being 4 stars. I like this bet quite a bit. So let me review some arguments with you. Well, I know that the Cubs are playing better baseball right now, and they are the strongest of the 2 teams. But I like Minnesota to pull off the upset in this spot. The Twins have been a lot better at home than on the road this year. In fact, their home record is 24-18, whereas on the road they have been abysmal with a 19-29 record. And the Cubs have also not been that great away from Wrigley Field. Now, Shota Imanaga is one of the best young pitchers in the league, but the lack of consistent reps makes it hard to trust him, and I think he is susceptible to a few upsets on occasions. He is still on a pitch count following a hamstring injury. He has made just 2 outings since returning from that injury, by the way. And meanwhile, the Twins will counter with Simeon Wood-Richardson, who has been heating up lately. If you focus on his last 4 trips to the mound, he has posted a spectacular 1.71 ERA. So the young 24-year-old from Sugar Land in Texas is making some significant strides. In fact, at home this year, he has allowed a low 237 batting average to opposing hitters. So for all these reasons, I like the Twins to pull off the upset against the Cubs today. All right, my next play concerns the Pirates-Royals game, and in this match, I'm betting no run to be scored in the initial frame of this match. And this is a 4-star play. It was close from being viewed as a 5-star selection. Now, these two teams, they are tied for the lowest number of runs scored in the big leagues in 2025 with just 313 runs scored this year. So, of course, that's a good start regarding this bet. And on top of that, both clubs are sending an above-average pitcher to the mound. So for Pittsburgh, we have Mitch Keller, who has been on a very good run. Here's an interesting fact concerning Keller. He failed to record a win in 15 consecutive starts, but now he has picked up the W in his last 2 starts. He has also allowed 2 earned runs or fewer in each of his last 4 appearances on the mound, so he's been making some good improvement. And meanwhile, Seth Lugo has been incredibly good after being not so great earlier this season. So since June 12, a day in which he faced the Yankees, he has squandered a grand total of 3 earned runs in 30 innings of work. So again, if you do the calculations, you end up with a spectacular 0.90 ERA. So I really like this play of no run being scored in the initial frame of the Pittsburgh KC game today. All right, let's move on to my 5th selection, which is the St. Louis Cardinals and their corresponding -1.5 run line. So in other words, I'm banking on the fact that they will win by a margin of at least 2 runs. And the associated odds are +100 or 2.0 in decimal. All right, so let's review some arguments supporting this play. With both clubs are really struggling to collect wins recently, winning only 4 of their last 11 games. So that I'm talking about both clubs right here. Both have won 4 of their last 11 games. Now, it's mind-boggling how has Jake Irvin managed to get a nice 7-3 record given his bad 4.71 ERA. I guess he has received great run support, so he's been a bit lucky to own such a good record so far. And also, his road ERA is 5.79 versus 3.69 at home, so that's a big difference, and that is bad news for Nats fans. He will be battling Sonny Gray, who has been business as usual. He has had a long, illustrious career with a 3.51 career ERA and a whip stat of 1.19. Now he's been even better this year with a 1.08 whip stat, so there has not been a lot of traffic on the bases when Sonny Gray has been on the mound in 2025. Also, did you know that he has gone 6 innings or deeper in 6 of his last 8 starts? And finally, the Cards have won 7 of their last 10 meetings against Washington, so I expect them to roll at home tonight against the Nationals, and that's why I am betting the Cardinals -1.5 at home against the Nationals. All right, my final play of the day concerns the Cleveland-Houston game, and this time I am betting the under to hit. More precisely, I'm betting under 7.5 runs to be scored, which means we need a maximum of 7 runs scored in this match. And this is a 4-star selection. I like it quite a bit, as you can tell. All right, so in this game, we have Joey Cantillo facing Hunter Brown. Cantillo will be drawing a second start, while Luis Ortiz remains on the restricted list for gambling allegations. Cantillo showed some promise last year by striking out 44 batters in 38 and 2/3 innings, which is quite impressive, especially for a rookie. Now he is doing a fine job out of the bullpen this year, and I expect him to cover 3 to 5 innings today. And meanwhile, Hunter Brown has been truly exceptional this season. He sports a mind-blowing 1.82 ERA, and he has struck out 126 batters over 104 innings. Now, this is a favorable matchup for him at home against a reeling Guardians team who have a 594 OPS over their last 24 games, which is very bad. So I'm really seeing a low-scoring affair where Cleveland hangs around. So I expect something like a 3-2 victory by Houston, in which case the over would be a winner. And that's why I'm not a big fan of betting Houston with the money line. The odds are quite low. I feel like Cleveland is going to hang around and make it a tight game. So there you go. You can review my 6 picks of the day. The Rays money line, the Yankees, the Twins, to all win straight up. I expect no run to be scored in the Pirates-Royals game. I'm betting the Cards run line, and finally the under in the Cleveland-Houston game. So really a big thank you for watching my daily MLB predictions. I appreciate all of you. This channel would not exist if you were not there. So you can, and if you enjoyed today's content, you can tell YouTube that you appreciated the video by interacting with the video. So that means you can just click the thumbs up button, which takes just 2 seconds of your time. You could post a comment. It's always nice to read you. Or the best you could do is to subscribe to the channel if you have not done it already. I don't know many YouTubers who hold a PhD in statistics and who post betting picks on a regular basis and who have been crushing online bookies since 1999. Alright, so it would be a pleasure to talk to you again very soon. Thanks for watching. I'm Professor MJ from Quebec City saying so long.